Hi, it's my favorite time of day, the time of day when I get to read a good book to you. Today we're going to read Dog Breath, and it's by Dave Pilkey. And I know a lot of people in my class really like him. He wrote Dogzilla and Cat Kong, if you're familiar with those books. They're very funny, and so is this one. I think you're going to like this one a lot. Dog Breath, The Horrible Trouble with Halitosis. You ever heard the word halitosis? Probably not. It's a big fancy schmancy word for bad breath. So why do you think the author chose to name the dog in this story Halitosis? Get it? Dave Pilkey does that a lot with words. He likes to play around with words a lot and make funny jokes. There once was a dog named Hallie who lived with the Tosis family. Halitosis was a very good dog, but she had a big problem. Halitosis had horrible breath. Whenever Halitosis opened her mouth, horrible things happened. Look at what's happening in these pictures. The paint's peeling off the walls. Her breath is so bad. What else is happening here? Yes, look at him. Even the Mona Lisa. When the children took Halitosis for a walk, everyone else walked on the other side of the street. Even skunks avoided Halitosis. Poor Hallie. Does she seem to mind? But the real trouble started one day when Grandma Tosis stopped by for a cup of tea. And Hallie jumped up to say hello. What happened? Dave Pilkey illustrates his books too. Look what's happening here. What is this showing? This greenness. Green. You're right, Mason. It's showing how stinky her breath is. Mr. and Mrs. Tosis were not amused. Something has to be done about that smelly dog, they said. The next day, Mr. and Mrs. Tosis decided to find a new home for Hallie. Oh no, look at the sign. How do they feel about having to do that? The children knew that the only way they could save their dog was to get rid of her bad breath. So they took Halitosis to the top of a mountain that had a breathtaking view. Look what's happening. Do you notice this? They hoped that the breathtaking view would take Hallie's breath away, but it didn't. Look at the green. Next, the children took Halitosis to a very exciting movie. They hoped that all the excitement would leave Hallie breathless. Look at the signs. It'll leave you breathless. And the newspaper. But it didn't. Finally, the children took Halitosis to a carnival. They hoped that Hallie would lose her breath on the speedy roller coaster. You'll lose your breath on our roller coaster. Do you think it'll work? Look what's happening. But that idea stunk too. The plans to change Hallie's bad breath had failed. Now, only a miracle could save Halitosis. Sadly, the three friends said goodnight, unaware that a miracle was just on the horizon. What do you think's going to happen? Are they going to save Hallie? Later that night, when everyone was sound asleep, two sneaky burglars crept into the Tosis house. The two burglars were tiptoeing through the dark, quiet rooms when suddenly they came upon Halitosis. "Yikes," whispered one burglar. "It's a big, mean, scary dog." "Ah, don't be silly," whispered the other burglar. "That's only a cute little fuzzy puppy." What do you think Hallie's going to do? Look at her face. She doesn't look mean, does she? The two burglars giggled at the sight of such a friendly little dog. "That dog couldn't hurt a fly," whispered one burglar. "Come here, Poochie Poochie," whispered the other. So Halitosis came over and gave the burglars a nice big kiss. Slurp. What do you think's going to happen to them? Oh my goodness. The next morning, the Tosis family awoke to find two burglars passed out cold on their living room floor. It was a miracle. The Tosis family got a big reward for turning in the crooks, and soon Halitosis was the most famous crime-fighting dog in the country. In the end, Mr. and Mrs. Tosis changed their minds about finding a new home for Hallie. They decided to keep their wonderful watchdog after all. Well, look at the sign they're putting out now. Because life without Halitosis just wouldn't make any sense. Look at the word sense. Get it? It's still got her green breath everywhere. All right, I hope you liked that funny book. Look at that, what Hallie says. That's true, isn't it? All right, I will see you next time. Bye, Grayson.